Hello guys, my name is Hadi. I welcome you to the first day of the C++ programming language. So let's just start. I have some PowerPoint lectures. So uh, let's just talk about some software categories and system software, application software, these things, and also some introduction about the C++ language, the history of C++ language, the evolution, development environment of C++. So this is today's lecture. I'm going to talk about these things today. So what's first? Let's just talk about program. What actually a program is? When we are saying programming language, when we are saying we are going to do program, what are we going to do? What's a program? Program is a precise or exact sequence of steps to solve a particular problem. Actually, we are going to solve a specific problem. For example, when someone asks you to write a program which converts your age, which is in year, and convert it to the months or days or minutes or hours, these things. So that's the kind of problem, a specific problem, where you are going to solve it through program. Computer is a programmable device. Program is actually the art of developing or writing programs or softwares. Programmers, those who develop the programs, those who are writing the programs, they are programmers. Programming languages, those languages we are going to use. For example, C++, Java, C Sharp, Visual Basic, these are all programming languages which are used to program. So C++ is actually a high level language. High level language means this is near to human language, just like English. That's the standard language. C++ is more readable by human rather than assembly language. Assembly language is a low level language, and I'm going to mention one thing called C. C language was actually between them. This is also nearer to machine, so that is why we call it low level language. Low level language, just like assembly language, that is the most nearest language which is near to the machine. And C is between them. You can call it high level language or you can call it low level language. High level language because this is human readable, and low level language because this is near to the machine or hardware. So software categories, we have system software, we have application software. System software, those who are controlling computer, just like operating systems or drivers. Windows, uh, Windows is operating system, and Linux, Ubuntu, these things. These are operating systems. These are actually system softwares, which are uh, going to be. This is actually an interaction between user and computer. And then application software, which we are going to install it after having operating system. For example, I'm going to install div C++. Div C++, we're going to talk about this a little bit later. That's the kind of software we are going to install it after having operating system. For example, now I'm having Windows 10, so I'm going to install the div C++. That is application software. So uh, let's talk about the history of C++. Before C++, we had also some other high-level languages just like B, C, these things. Ken Thompson developed B language in 1969. That was also high-level language. Then Dennis Ritchie extended B language and developed C language. From B language, he developed C language in 1971. And one example of C language is Unix operating system that is written in C. Bjorn Stroustrup developed C++ in 1985 by extending C language. C language is object-oriented language. I will try to make the object-oriented programming uh, tutorial also, inshallah. So we will use C++ development environments. I'm going to talk later. Those tools or those softwares which we are going to use to make a program. First, we need an editor. Editor is a software where we type or write our programs, our codes, which we call that source code also. Interpreter and compilers. We have two translator which translate our language, which is high level language, to low level language. That's compiler or interpreter. We have two kind, but we are going to use compiler here. Compiler is a software which translates entire program and then executes it. It's fast. But interpreter is a software which translates the program line by line and then executes it where it's slow. That's slow. Then we have debugger. Debugger is a kind of software which finds your errors, logical errors. For example, you miss a semicolon, these things. So that's a logical error. It is going to find that logical error. And linker, we have some built-in functions and header files. We are going to link our source code to those functions, built-in functions. So that is the job of linker. And also we have loader. You have completed your program, you have compiled it, and you have the exe file, the translated file, that which is in 01. That is what do we call it? That code which is in 01, that is actually loaded into memory by loader. When you execute your program, when you run it, that is the job of loader, which put every line into memory, and then from memory the CPU will run that. So these were softwares which we use to make our program. Let's talk about source code and target code, or source program and target program. Source program, that codes that you write, that is your source code. That's the source program. When it was compiled, then it's ready for running. So that is our target program. For example, that person that asked you to make a program which converts his age from year to months or days, you are going to give the target program to him to convert his age to months and days or hours. So we have IDE. What's IDE? Integrated Development Environment. This is a kind of software which contains 5 softwares: editor, compiler, debugger, linker, loader. These 5 softwares are inside the IDE. Here we are going to use div C++. So this has all the softwares. First we are going to use editor. This editor, we write our code inside the editor and we are going to save it inside the hard disk. Then preprocessor. For example, you have we are going to use some built-in functions. They are inside the header files, and you are going to so they are inside the hard disk. And compiler, when you compile it, it takes the code from disk and compile it and save the compiled one inside the hard disk. Then linker actually links the built-in functions and also the source code. And loader is actually takes the program from disk and load it inside the primary memory, which is your RAM. Then CPU will take all those codes from memory, from RAM, and run it line by line. So let's go through the installation. First, I'm going to say how to download your div C++. Just open your browser and type div C++, and here is the link. Search for .NET. open it, and here's the link. You can just click this download and download it. This is not more than 50 MB. Yeah, here is written 50.4 MB or 48 MB, that much, not more than that. This is very low. I have already downloaded. I have it in my download folder, so I'm going to install it. I have here, yeah, Deep C++ 5.11. This is the newer version, so I'm going to install it. Here you are going to select the language, which language you want. That was English, and this is the license. You have to read it, then agree, and next, and install. It's going to be installed in my C drive, which I didn't show you how to check your drive, which drive you want to install. Now it has completed, and I'm going to run it after installing. So that was check mark. So which language? Yeah, English original. Then yeah, fonts. How about font? If you want, you can just change the font. Then you just colors, you can change it from here, and also you can also, after opening it, you can also change it from here. So I'm going to make a new file. Control N, it will make a new file, or we can go to file, then new, and source file. This will also make a new file. Here if I just write something, I think it's too small, so I am going to change it from tools, editor options, yeah, fonts. I'm going to change it to 16. It might be, yeah, this will be clear. So this was the installation, and also opening a new file, opening a new project. So guys, this was the installation. So the last slide is to see the result of our exe file inside CMD. Just write your code and run it, then you will see the exe file in a console page. So I'm going to make the first program in next lecture. Please subscribe our channel, and also you can introduce our channel to your friends. Okay guys, see you in the next lecture.